Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 6. So we are just under about, 3 weeks until The Flash starts production or, filming for its 6th season, which is crazy as it really only feels like yesterday when we were gearing up for Season 5's filming and we were all wondering how Nora Allen was going to impact Season 5 and what other mysteries were coming in and all of that. It is just really crazy how time flies by. Anyway, so when Season 6 starts, we should get some little hints and teasers as to what we should expect to see in the show for that season, but that usually comes with the main characters, Barry, Iris, Caitlin, Apartment 4, and so on. But when it comes to the villain, however, it is pretty rare that we get anything public with those characters until around episode 4, 5, or 6 roughly. So that is some time after even Comic-Con goes down, where we will get our first trailer for the season. News on the villain should come very, very soon though, from when this video goes up. Hopefully, this is a big hopefully, but hopefully within 2 weeks from now. Whether that be casting, a proper description of the villain with specific details, or if we get lucky, both of them. But from what is being said through the grapevine, without actually naming a source for obvious reasons, Red Death will actually be the villain for Season 6 of The Flash, which really shouldn't come as too much of a surprise, seeing he is the only one that has really been set up to be that big bad villain for this season. But of course, guys, throughout this video, let me know all of your opinions on the stuff we go over, whether you disagree or hopefully agree. Just leave all of them in the comments section down below, as well as any other thoughts you have. And of course, if you're going to enjoy it and you're hyped for hopefully Red Death, drop a like on the video to show that support and hype. So obviously around the halfway mark of Season 5, we did have that episode in which we went inside Nora's memories and brain, and we saw her younger self in the Flash Museum, and she was watching a clip of Singh, or the former Captain Singh, talking about Cicada and their kill count. But along with that, we had Zoom mentioned, as well as the Red Death. Of course, that mention got everyone talking and wondering ooh, when's that character going to show up, or when should it show up? Where would they take them? And also, I guess, who the Red Death could actually be. Of course, we did get the news from TV Line around a week or so ago around the casting for the Season 6 villain. Important to note that they didn't specify Red Death, but TV Line reported the following regarding the Season 6 villain. Season 6 will introduce a new male big bad, and rumor has it producers are eyeing diverse actors for the part. Of course, it will be interesting to see what comes of that and who exactly is cast, which we will briefly go over later on the video maybe. But first, let's go over some other details around Red Death leading into Season 6. So one of the big questions and just topics around Red Death and their introduction is how they came to be. Where are they from? How do they become a speedster? All of that. So if you go back to the start of the show, all the way back to Season 1, we have had a big bad from the future, that being Reverse Flash, then a villain from another Earth in the multiverse, that being Zoom, then a villain from the future, technically, Saboteur, then a villain from the present day, the Thinker, or Clifford DeVoe, and then in Season 5 we had a bit of a mix-up with a legacy character starting in the present and then finishing from the future, with that character of course being Cicada. And of course we had a lot of future stuff playing into the season due to Nora and the Reverse Flash and that whole thing. But if we do go off that pattern of where the villains are from or where they're initially situated, it appears that Red Death will either be from the present day, which is believable and will lead into something we will go over soon. But there is of course the possibility, going off this pattern and based on Zoom following the season where we had Reverse Flash from the future, that Red Death could maybe be from another Earth in the multiverse. Now, if we were to choose between these two options of being from another Earth in the multiverse or in, present day, and by present day I mean on Earth 1 as well, just to avoid any confusion, as they would still technically be from 2019 on that other Earth in the multiverse anyway. But yeah, if we were to choose between those two options as to which one is the more likely or most likely to actually happen in Season 6 with Red Death, I think multiverse would be the better option to go with. And the main reason, I guess the only reason as well I say that, is due to the impending crisis event that is going to be happening later on in the season. If we are going by the comics, the multiverse will soon be coming to an end due to that. So it would be nice to see the Flash introduce a final villain that is originated from another Earth in the multiverse, who then following the event would just blend into Earth 1. Of course, we don't know if Earth 1 will really not be affected at all from the crisis event, or if the new Prime Earth, if you want to call it that, is created from the event, does affect every Earth in their memories and all of that. Of course, that also including what we know as, Earth 1. But the more simple option would be for Red Death to just be from Earth 1 itself, and that is where we will see their backstory play out, and of course, not certainly, but possibly, see how their backstory maybe lines up or links with something or some other events we have seen go down in the past throughout previous seasons on the show. And for them to create such a notable death toll, like that was reported by Captain Singh or the former Captain Singh in that video from the museum, well, he must have been mad at something in Central City, or was killing for a purpose, or was just looking for vengeance, something like that. But regardless of where exactly Red Death could or, should be from, another thing that always comes up when speedsters are involved, especially when dealing with a new speedster, and especially when they are going to be the main threat or the big bad for the season, is of course how they got their powers. Like, what are the origins of their speed? And if we are dealing with the option that Red Death is just from another Earth in the multiverse, like Earth 7 or something, then I don't think the origin of his powers takes too much thinking, as it could just be anything that really us as the audience can't be really too questionable about, as well it would be on an Earth that we haven't experienced previously. I mean, it could be created from another Earth particle accelerator incident, just like how both Barry and Hunter Zolomon got their powers. I mean, I would hope for something new and creative, but I guess I wouldn't be angry if they just did it the same way. But maybe they could be creative and maybe he got his powers from an overpowered bottle of Gatorade or something. But yeah, anything simple or extreme from another Earth could work, and we can't really, complain about it. I think we would all be fine. We would all be fine with it. Am I speaking English? Hopefully. Get the translator up if I'm not. But if Red Death is from the present day on Earth 1, what could his speedster origins be, the result from? I mean, nothing major happened in regards to a meta-creating incident like we had at the end of Season 4 with the satellite incident, or the particle accelerator incident at the beginning of Season 1, so where could Red Death be created from, or be created by if he is from, Earth 1? Well, the first option is actually just an easy one to drop, and that is that Red Death could just be a recipient of meta powers due to a previous incident. Most likely the satellite incident if we're going to choose one, just like we have seen with, speedsters or characters like Jesse Quick. Their powers could just be delayed and just waiting for a certain moment to trigger them and go, oh wait, I've got powers. And seeing he as a villain, it could be maybe a pretty violent moment that brings them out. Maybe a close one dies, maybe a family member dies, something like that. Now, that ever elusive Speed Force storm from back at the end of Season 3 is always a threat in regards to being the origin or the cause for an incoming villain, as when it happened, it was made out to be this big massive thing, and then, well, nothing happened. Literally no one was affected by it, even though we saw it doing a decent amount of damage, so who knows, maybe it will work its way back into the show for Season 6. Probably not, let's be honest, but you never know. But as you know, in the city known to us Flash fans as Central City, a lot of weird stuff goes down, so who knows, there could be some crazy incident or just, accident involving some weird science or technology or witchcraft, who knows, that could cause the creation of a new speedster that would later go on to be, the Red Death. A cool twist would be, and this is just one of my weird, off-the-cuff, why am I saying this things, but a cool twist would be if maybe there was actually a recently deceased person, maybe they got hit by a truck or just exploded, something like that, that is possibly brought back to life through some form of accident, a legitimate Walking Dead speedster, or in this case, a running death. Thank you, I'm here awake, but tush, I guess. But anyway, wouldn't that be interesting? I guess it makes sense why he'd call himself the Red Death, because he actually was dead. I don't know. Is that a good idea? It's probably not. It's probably terrible, but it might be good. Another thing that's popped up, and it's mainly due to the end of Season 5, is whether Red Death is a result of the timeline change. Now, yes, we know he was already in the future. He was mentioned in the Flash Museum, but maybe he wasn't meant to show up till maybe 2023, 2020... 2 or something like that, but because of the dagger being destroyed, certain things can happen earlier or just in a different way, so maybe Red Death comes about earlier than that. That'd be pretty interesting. As I said, always meant to be there, but as we know with Nora punching the satellite, Cicada came about earlier and was also a different person, so maybe it's just a domino effect, and then when you add in the dagger being destroyed, more dominoes just keep getting knocked over, and maybe Red Death could maybe even be a different person. Who knows? There's a lot of different things that could, happen there with Red Death and when he does show up. Now, obviously, due to the casting notice, it's going to be a new character. There's not going to be any existing characters, so those Kate Kane and Oliver Queen theories go out the window, and I really highly doubt it is going to be Batman or Bruce Wayne from another Earth. They're not going to do that, so I'm interested to see what the route they go with Red Death, and also who the character is going to be, and whether they're going to do the route where maybe it's Cicada or DeVoe, where it's a villain we don't interact with and it's someone that we don't really know. that ends up being the villain, or if it's going to be the, you know, the, I guess like the Reverse Flash, Hunter Zolomon, Dr. Alchemy sort of route. I guess you even chuck in Savitar, where it is someone that we interact with on a week-to-week basis, and maybe he's like within Team Flash that ends up, you know, oh my god, they're a villain and stuff like that. So I'm intrigued. You know, it looks like it's going to be Red Death, another speedster villain, so maybe they might go back to that season 1 to 3 or season 1 and 2 mold, with them being, you know, working with a team, but that's for us to wait and find out. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below, what are your various opinions about Red Death? What are your thoughts about him being the villain? As I said, through the grapevine, it seems like he is definitely going to be the villain for this season. And, you know, just give me all your general thoughts. And what do you think about his origin? Is he going to get the powers through an overpowered bottle of Gatorade? Or is he going to be bitten by a radioactive mouse? Let me know in the comments. And, of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.